Good afternoon. I'm Susan Bauer, the Executive Director of the Career Center here at Yeshiva University, and it's my pleasure to be here with you today in your home to tell you all about the amazing resources we have should you decide to come to Yeshiva University. So I have a background in corporate America. I went to graduate school, and now I work in higher education. So my department is structured to help you with each of those things. If you wish to go to graduate school, we're here for you. If you wish to go into corporate America, nonprofit, make Aliyah, we have many different programs within our area that I'll tell you about today to help each of you with your post-graduation dreams. So I have 10 people that work in my department, and we work between both campuses. So should you have any programming on the Wilf campus or the Barron campus, you will work with the same 10 professionals. I mean, now in a virtual world, you get to work with everyone anyway, but when you're here in person, my team goes back and forth between each of the campuses, so you'll have the experience to work with everyone. If I had to think of some words to describe the people in my department, I think more than anything, they're very resourceful. We like to say yes as much as we possibly can to the queries of the students when they come into the office. They're super smart, really kind and helpful, devoted, very approachable, sincere, and at the end of the day, everyone's very mission-driven. So how is the department set up? We have half of our department that works in employer relations, and those are the folks that build our career fairs, that work on recruiting and networking events, that bring in all of our alumni and our employers to mentor our students. And then we have the other side of the department who does the career advising. And those are the professionals that you would meet with to talk about, what career you want to explore, maybe what major you wish to have, how you find your first internship, your first job post-graduation, how you get into law school or medical school or any graduate program for that matter. That's all taken care of on the career advising side. So what would it look like for you if you decide to come to Yeshiva University? So we start very, very early with career strategy. So when you're in Israel, you'll be doing webinars with the Career Center. We have webinars for the young men and we have webinars for the young women that are live, where we talk about how to get that first internship that some people want even before they step foot on campus, which is really hard to secure without having any, on-campus credits under your belt. We talk about how to build your first resume, how to make it a college resume and not a high school resume. And we'll help you build up your LinkedIn profile because now in this virtual environment, that's even more important than your resume. So all of that will happen before you even step foot on campus. We started something 2 summers ago, which now is more appreciated than ever, called our Warm and Welcome campaign, where each new student gets a postcard from our department in August that has our hours, a welcome to the Career Center, a photo of our team, and most importantly, a QR code that you can scan and do a career assessment. So maybe you want to be a finance major, or maybe you're not sure if you want to be a philosophy major and what you could do with that. So you can take this assessment before you even get here at YU to kind of have an idea of where your career interests might be targeted. Then, in your first 2 weeks on campus, our department calls all 700 or 800 first-time on-campus students just to see if you want to make that first appointment to come into the Career Center. So we consider our students a very integral part of our community. And what does a Career Center even do for the community? So we do things that you would expect. We do resume, we do cover letter creation and review, we help with grad school applications, we help build LinkedIn profiles and work on your personal brand. So in this virtual world, they used to say that people could tell so much about you from your handshake and your eye contact and your personal pitch. Well, that all changes now. So we work with you on how to build your brand and make it really strong as if you had that really firm handshake when you were meeting with someone in person. So we like to think of the Career Center as the gateway to alumni involvement. So what does that mean? If a student is successful with the Career Center and is put in touch with our amazing alumni community from all different areas of industry, then they will want to give back as alumni to the community with mentoring other students. So it's really our mission to put our students in touch with as many alumni as possible, whether it's through our YU MVP, we have a women's professional network, we have tech mentoring, we have alumni in all areas of industry that are ready to mentor you, and it's important for us that you make a successful connection with our alumni community so that once you graduate, you become a part of that community and give back to the Career Center. So there really is no guarantee that what you're thinking in your head right now will happen once you graduate, but I can tell you that close to 95% of our graduating class lands the post-graduation destination of their dreams. Whether that's a job, whether it's the graduate school of their choice, whether it's both, whether it's making Aliyah, we help you get there. We work with you from when you start at YU through when you graduate and while you're an alum in our alumni community. And our post-graduation destination rate is really, really high. Do we plan on it being that high? We love it when it's that high, but it's the work that we do in the Career Center and how we work with our students, connect them with mentors, get them internships, help them network, work on their LinkedIn profile, that you score that on your own. We have a really neat new tool that we're launching this fall, something for you all to look forward to, called JobScan. So nowadays, when people apply for jobs, hundreds and hundreds of resumes could come in just for one position. So we have this really neat tool where you take the job description of what you're interested and you cut and paste it into the platform, and then you upload your resume to the platform, and it tells you what percentage of a match you would be for an ATS. Now, what's an ATS? The ATS is called the Applicant Tracking System, and it's taken the place of recruiters and humans. So now these systems scan resumes and just look for these keywords. And if you don't have those keywords in your resume, a human will never look at your resume and you won't be considered. So now with JobScan, it can tell you whether you're a 30% match, an 80% match. So that's something new that we're starting this fall that we're really excited about. We have something called Big Interview, which is a virtual interviewing platform. So you can go into the platform, and I think the toughest question that students get is, so tell me about your weaknesses. And you sit there and you stumble and you don't think you have any. You don't know if you should tell them what they really are. So in this big interview platform, you can practice that question over and over, and then you can watch your response. And you can see your facial expression and see your body language. And now we've taken it even a step further. So formerly in Big Interview, they had these pre-recorded people from the company that would ask the questions. Now we actually have someone from Google who pre-recorded questions for computer science students. We have people from McKinsey who have pre-recorded questions for students that want to pursue consulting. So if you think you're interested in a field, you can go into Big Interview and already start practicing for your big interview one day. We have something called Canvas here at Yeshiva University, which is our LMS, which is the Learning Management System, which you may hear at open house presentations. What's the LMS? So ours here is Canvas, and each one of the courses that you're enrolled in will be in your Canvas, and the Career Center course will be in there as well. And it contains industry guides for everything you can explore here at Yeshiva University. It has resume templates. It has a link to our YouTube playlist. Yes, we have a YouTube playlist, a little inside information. So even though you're at home, once we're done, if you want to really meet everyone in my department, you want to meet alumni who are in Israel, who we've done webinars with, many different recruiters, our deans here at the university, you can go right into the Yeshiva University Career Center YouTube playlist and see all of our webinars. So we have many resources, whether you're here on person or whether you're home learning. Things that are so amazing that I think the pandemic was the impetus for creating, but now are so successful that when you're back here on campus in person, that's even more that we have to offer to our students. So something that we like to say about the Career Center, which is kind of like a hallmark for us, is we are all caps, right? So CAPS. And when you graduate, you wear your graduation cap, and we want to get you there. So what does that mean? It means connections and partnerships for success. So the first thing that I'd like to tell you about, which students love, which you can actually go, but you can't get in because you're not a student here yet, it's called YU MVP. So YU MVP is Yeshiva University Mentoring Volunteer Program. It's an algorithm-based platform where each student can go in and fill out a profile. What is your major? What are your interests? Where do you live? Because it matches based on geography as well. And there's a menu of what you would like mentoring on. You can select resume review, informational interview, where you can just interview someone who works in your field that you're interested in. You could do a mock interview. You could talk about work-life balance. Maybe you want to speak to an alum who goes to the graduate school you're interested in or who graduated from the graduate school that you're interested in. So you fill out your profile, you answer all these questions, and then our mentors do the same exact thing. So when you hit enter, the system churns through almost like a slot machine, and then it matches you with 3 mentors, and it'll tell you a 78% match, an 89% match, a 94% match. It'll show you who they are. It'll show you a little bit about each one of them, and then you can go to their LinkedIn profile too and really check them out and see which might be the right fit for you. So that's the algorithm-based part of the platform, but you can also shop. So there are hundreds of alumni in there. So maybe you really don't know what it is that you want to do. So you don't know what your interests are or your major to put into the platform, and you don't want to be matched up with people just arbitrarily. So you can go in and shop through all of the mentors that are in there and request to receive mentorship from them. So that's our YU MVP, and that is available to you the second you step foot on Yeshiva University. We have another really cool thing that used to be called Employer in Residence, because we could bring employers to campus where they would function as career advisors for a day. But now in our remote environment, we changed it to the Meet a Professional series, which in short is MAPS. Because now we're able to bring in people from all over the world to talk to you. They don't have to get a parking space here on campus. So the Meet a Professional series, we bring in people in biotech, we bring in people in cyber, we bring in people from Memorial Sloan Kettering, we bring in like clinical psychologists, and we do fireside chats with them that are live for an hour. And we do one of these on the men's campus, we do one on the women's campus each month, where you can come, bring your questions, and listen to what it's really, really like to work as a professional in that area of industry. And that's the MAPS program. We have our Career Ambassador program, CAP, playing off of our CAPS theme, which is so cool. So this is an application program where any student can come to the Career Center with an interest of theirs. So let's just say that you're interested in cake decorating, right? Just to make it generic. And you come in and you say, I love decorating cakes, and I'm very entrepreneurial, and I want to start my own business, and I want to meet somebody that does this. I want to meet Sylvia Weinstock. So what happens? So if you can fill out the application, and we think that you are professional enough to carry on a student-professional relationship and represent the university and represent the Career Center, we would make that introduction for you to Sylvia Weinstock. And then you would work with her to set up a webinar that all students could attend that were interested in cake decorating. You would be the moderator. You would ask the questions. You would set up the interview. You would send the thank you. And right there is the first LinkedIn connection that you have to your future career. So that's our CAPS program. We do our weekly webinars, which I referenced, which you can see on our YouTube channel. We have something called career liaisons, because a lot of students are really nervous to come into the Career Center for the first time. It's like, why would I go there? I don't know what I want to do. They're going to ask me all these questions. I'm not going to feel good about myself. So we train students to speak with students. We train students to talk about, I know, I was there with you. I didn't know what I wanted to do either. So if you are a little apprehensive about coming in to have this quote unquote like professional appointment, we have these career liaisons that meet with students that can really help bridge that gap if you just want to have an exploratory conversation about what it means to be a college student that really doesn't know what they want to do once they graduate. We do very, very targeted programming. So a lot of universities just do these big generic career fairs. You want a job, you want an internship, you just come to the career fair. So what we do is very targeted things. So for instance, 2 weeks ago, we did our Tech Week here at Yeshiva University. So we started off the week with something called Techucation, which is an annual event here at YU, which has a big keynote speaker from the industry. And then we have a panel of students who have already landed their summer internship for next year, recent graduates to talk about what it was like to go from intern to graduate to entry-level employee, and then people that have been in the industry for years to talk about what you need to focus on even to get that internship. So the week started off with Techucation. Over the course of the week, we brought in 25 alumni from BlackRock, Google, Facebook, Apple, IBM to have availability to meet with students in half-hour time slots. So over the course of the week, we had 50 half-hour time slots that any computer science student or anyone even interested in tech, maybe you want to go into fintech, maybe you want to go into biotech or agritech, you could meet with one of these professionals just to ask them about their career, work on your resume. So that's very targeted programming. And then we ended the week with our technology meet and greet, which is a recruiting event. So you start the week with education, you spend the week working on your resume, asking questions, and then you end the week at the actual recruiting event. Another great example of our targeted programming is our What is Wall Street Other Than Investment Banking? So if you're watching this and you're thinking of going into investment banking, you might think, well, that's it. I'm a finance major. I'm going to be an investment banker. Well, do you know about mergers and acquisitions or private wealth management or risk or debt or credit? There are so many different areas that you can work within finance, and we want you to know about all of those. Everyone knows about IB, but there's so many other areas. So we do this amazing What is Wall Street Other Than Investment Banking? And this year, the founder of the job scan product that I was telling you about is one of the speakers on our panel. So if the students attend the What is Wall Street, they get a one-on-one with the founder of this product to really learn how to maximize their resume for finance recruiting. We do a marketing Mingle, which is our annual marketing meet and greet. We do a nonprofit career fair. We do a grad school career fair. We do events for the humanities and liberal arts. Here at Yeshiva University, the Career Center is not a one-size-fits-all. It's very tailored and very targeted to what it is that you wish to do. Our post-graduation destination rate, and you're probably like, what is that? I haven't even applied to college yet. So post-graduation destination, what does that mean? Well, it means that you might want to go to graduate school. You might want to get a job. You might want to do both. You might not be ready to start working right away, which essentially, if you declare that yourself, maybe you want to take a gap year. Maybe you want to make Aliyah. So these are all destinations that students have. Close to 95% of our graduating class had a destination. They either went to graduate school, they're working, they're doing both, they're trying to make Aliyah. So we work really, really hard on career strategy to get you where you need to go. This isn't the office where you just come in 2 months before you graduate and say, what do I do now? We start working with you the first moment you step on campus. So I've told you a little bit about what will happen while you're in Israel, about what will happen before you step foot on campus, about what can happen while you're on campus, about how well our students do once they graduate. So I would like to give you a few resources where you can explore our Career Center from home while you make your decision about whether or not to come to Yeshiva University. So I told you about our playlist on YouTube, and I definitely think you should check that out. We also have a LinkedIn group. So it's the Yeshiva University Career Center LinkedIn group, where you can go and you can see all the members of the community, both alumni and students who have joined our LinkedIn group. You can see the Career Center posts, what we're talking about, what type of internships and jobs that we have. All those things are right there on the Yeshiva University Career Center LinkedIn group. Now, on the Yeshiva University website, there's an events calendar. If you just Google Yeshiva University events calendar, this calendar comes up that has hundreds of things on there. It's not a Career Center calendar. It's everything going on at the university, but there's a search window. And we've tagged each one of our events with Career Center. So if you go into the search window and you type in Career Center, you will see all of the events and the webinars and the recruiting and the fairs and everything that we have planned for the next few months right there on the calendar. I want to share one thing with you before I go. I'm often asked, why do you work at Yeshiva University? What do you like about it? What do you love about it? So I run a tech trip. It probably won't happen this year, but for the past few winters, I ran this amazing tech trip to Israel. So the first trip was my first time to Israel. So I'm able to take 20 students. It's a whole tour of the startup world in Israel. So whether you're on the development side, the computer science side, whether you're on the finance side, whether you're interested in marketing, business development, all of it is covered. So we probably have around 70 or 80 students who apply, and 20 are selected. And I was able to take those 20 students to Israel. Do you remember your first time to Israel? Well, my first trip with these 20 students, living with these students, praying with these students, having meals with the students, listening to their questions and watching them take in the information from the speakers and the talks that we would have on the bus about ethics and religion and working in Israel. And what I walked away with, and it was such an impactful trip. What I walked away with from this trip was that the people in Israel, the Jewish people, they're not coming up with these companies and they're not founding all these different initiatives just to help the Jewish people. They're making the world a better place for all people. And the fact that I was with these students and to hear their conversations and to know that I can be a part of that I can work with these students to make our world a better place for all people, I want you to come. I really would love to meet each one of you. I'd love to help you actualize your dreams. Everyone in my department, we're incredibly committed to your success. Like I said, we have our Warm and Welcome campaign. We really want to meet with you. We're open for questions. We have a live chat. So if you go onto the Yeshiva University website and you go to the Career Center, there's a little icon there for the live chat. And if you have any questions for me, if I can answer them, I'll respond to you. If they're more appropriate for someone on my team, maybe they're industry specific, or I have some people that work with more YC students or more Stern students or more SIM students. Someone will get back to you and help you with this really important decision that you have to make. I wish I were in person with you right now. It's a little odd speaking to a monitor, knowing that there could be thousands of students out there considering coming to Yeshiva University. But please know that I do feel some type of a personal connection. I'm already interested in your success, and I really hope that I get to meet you here on campus in the future. So good luck with your decision. Please stay safe, and thank you for your time today.